anybody sitting here? Is anybody sitting next to you? Is this seat free? I sure hope it is. Not that anyone would want to sit next to you anyway, but you know. Do you know what we're doing today? Because I don't know. What do you mean you didn't bring your own idea to the YouTube video? I have to prepare everything. I have to film the video. I have to paint the thing. I have to edit the video. I have to post it. I have to make the thumbnail. I do anything. I do everything. You are contributing nothing to this group project. What are we doing today? I don't know. I do know. Do I? I don't know. We are painting. Imagine that. I have a painting due for one of my classes, and you're gonna help me do it. Oh my gosh, that's your role. You're gonna help me do it. Yeah, you're gonna help me do it. Sorry about that. So we're drawing again, right? We're painting. We're painting again. Not all that unusual for an art channel. I'll get into what this is all about in a minute. First, let me tell you this story. I have to get this off my chest, bro. This is completely irrelevant to everything that we're going to be talking about today. I just need to tell you this story real quick. Okay, firstly, you need to understand that everything I'm about to tell you is completely true. This is true. I'm not making it up for the internet or attention or something. This is completely true, okay? Okay, glad that's out of the way. When I was a kid, I was afraid of my Nana's basement. And I mean, weren't we all? And my Nana was like the main caregiver for me while my parents were like at work and stuff. So I really only played upstairs. When I got the chance to go downstairs, I really needed someone to be with me because once again, I'm scared of the basement. And that was when my grandfather went down to check like his emails on the computer. So I would go downstairs and there's like a little kitchen set downstairs. You've seen, little children's kitchen sets. And I would play at that and he'd be at the computer checking his email. Now it's important to know that on his desk was a cup, not really a cup or a mug. It's a Stein, like a German, beer holding Stein kind of thing, like a big oversized mug if you've never seen them. And it was kind of cream colored, like eggshelly colored. It had the Pirate Bay logo and it said the Pirate Bay in the Pirate Bay script on it. Okay, I distinctly remember that it said that. I mean, obviously I didn't know what the Pirate Bay was as a kid. I just knew it was a pirate ship and said the Pirate Bay on it. And I would often take it from my grandfather's desk. He used it as like a pen cup and I would dump all his dry pens and highlighters out of it, and I would go use it for my play kitchen. And he'd always make me put it back, put the pens back, and then we'd go back upstairs by the time we were done. But I distinctly remembered that he had a Pirate's Bay Stein on his desk. And as a kid who could read really well, I was like, okay, what is the Pirate Bay? Why is there like this pirate ship mug on your desk? I got some sort of like dismissive answer like, oh, it's a website. You don't really need to know about it. Or maybe he told me it was dangerous. I don't know. Obviously, as a kid, I didn't know anything about like torts and pirating movies or anything like that. So I just kind of got a dismissive answer. I mean, obviously, later in life, I figured it out, but at the time, I just kind of got a dismissive answer. So years later, as a teen or a preteen, I was down in my grandmother's basement again. For whatever reason, doesn't really matter. I noticed that the Pirate's Bay Stein is not on my grandfather's desk. So I went back upstairs and I was asking about it. I'm like, oh, where did the Stein go? Just because they've had it forever and I wanted to get to the bottom of that mystery. And the answer that I got was, what Stein? I'm like, oh, the mug that grandfather used to keep his like little pens and highlighters in. And they're like, no, there was never a mug on your grandfather's desk with like pens and highlighters in it. There was. Now, they may not be trying to directly gaslight me. They may genuinely not remember. It's kind of unremarkable. It was a long time ago. They're getting older. They're forgetting some things. They may just not remember it. That's fine. But I know specifically because I would take it down and play with it in my play kitchen. I know that it was there. I know what it looked like. I know what color it was. And I know that it had a Pirate's Bay logo on it and said the Pirate's Bay on it. As to where it went, there was a lot of things around the basement that disappeared after my uncle moved out. So he probably just took it with him, or at some point me and my cousin were playing lightsabers in the basement and knocked it over, it broke, and we just had to throw it away. It's probably not a big deal. I am now less invested in where the Stein the mug went. Now I'm more invested in getting my family to actually remember that this mug existed in the first place. When I really think about it, the person that would have been committing intellectual property crimes during the 90s or early 2000s when this mug was bought probably would have been my father. During that time period, my dad was really into electronics and the internet. He was the guy that burned all of our CDs at home. He's just kind of the tech guy of the family. And after he and my mom got married, they moved into my grandparents' basement. And when I think about it, he probably just had the mug, had it there when they lived there, and then when they moved into our house, he probably just left it there, and my grandfather found it, and he just kept his like pens and highlighters in it. It's fine. Probably just an item left behind, right? Well, I go and I ask my dad, Where do you even get Pirates Bay merch from? Where are you shopping online for Pirates Bay merch? Were they having some sort of like sale to support the site? Where do you even get Pirates Bay merch from? And he's like, I don't know what you're talking about. Very funny, but like now I'm an adult. Where do you get Pirates Bay merch? That's just something that always struck me as odd. Why is there merchandise for a pirating torrent company? And he's like, I know what the Pirates Bay is, but I don't know what you're talking about. I'm like, the Stein, the mug, that was on Grandpa's desk when I was little. What about that? How did you get that? Apparently, he says that not only did he not buy it, but he also does not remember it. So apparently, between the years of 2009 and 2015, nobody has seen this mug on my grandfather's desk except for me. I'm the only one that remembers it. Nobody knows where it came from. Nobody remembers that it exists, and nobody knows where it went. Which is really a minor thing, but it's starting to really tick me off. I wanted to know where that stupid mug came from and where it went. Here's a recreation of it from my memory, by the way, if you just wanted to see what I was picturing. Anyways, that's completely irrelevant of this painting. I just wanted to share that with you. Anyway, that has nothing to do with the painting, so let's get back to the painting, okay? What am I painting? This fish and this sand, and there's like a shadow. What is going on here? Lots of questions, and I don't have that many answers, but I will try and do my best. This is a piece that I was asked to make for my environmental science class. We had a choice. We could either group together in like 5 or 6 people and make a scientific poster about an environmental issue, or we could just individually make a piece of environmental science art. I'm not big into working with groups of people, so I chose the art. It just so happened that I'm not bad at art, and that is going to significantly help my cause here. We had to give a presentation on an environmental science issue, and then a solution that's being looked into to treat the issue, and then make a piece of art off of that. I don't really want to go into my whole spiel about this, so I'm just going to kind of give you the Cliff Notes version. This is a lionfish. It is a non-native species. It's an invasive species. There are so many of them, and they actually have like poisonous barbs on their backs so that nothing can eat them. So what is being proposed is divers are spearing these lionfish and then feeding them to nurse sharks who have the digestive system to be able to eat these lionfish. So they're training the sharks to eat the lionfish to help like cull their numbers so that they don't overwhelm the ecosystem more than they already are. Not that you particularly wanted to know that, but here we are. Congratulations. So I started with covering the entire painting with what would be sand. I put some highlights and shadows in there to make it look like sand mounds that had kind of like built up. I also put in these like water ripple textures. It's supposed to be like when the sun shines through the like waves and like makes ripples on the bottom of like a pool, or in this case, the ocean. I don't know if it necessarily looks like that, but I get credit for trying, right? Next up, I put in the fish, and when I was working on the shading of this, it kind of reminds me of like something that you'd see in like a 90s kids cartoon, where like the subject is like drawn on cell and then the back is like an oil painting, and I don't know why it reminded me of that. It doesn't particularly look like that, but that's what it reminds me of. And then I put these corals in. At the top of the painting, I have a lot of corals. They're healthy in color. They have like nice circular flowing shapes. They look really inviting. And that's where the fish is like swimming away from them. It's got its butt turned to it. And at the bottom where the fish is going, there are these really sharp, angular, dying and like sparse little pieces of coral, and they're all the same coral. There's not a lot of different corals, and this is obviously to represent like that the fish are killing the ecosystem, or you know, whatnot, symbolism and stuff. And I really liked it when it was just the fish and the corals in the background, but as per my presentation that I gave when I originally created the idea for the painting and had to, you know, present it for my class, I put a nurse shark shadow over the entire thing. This is supposed to be like, oh, the nurse shark is like looming for the lionfish population. It's gonna like take care of it. I don't know. Remember, this is for a class, okay? This isn't what I would have personally done. This is because this is for a grade. So just keep that in mind. If it had just been for shittles and gigs, I would have just left out the shark shadow. I think it kind of overwhelms the top part of the painting. You don't really need it there. Oh. But one thing I didn't want to tell you about, I think I'm so clever. In my artist statement that I had to write for this class, I named the title Alien vs. Predator, because it's like an invader versus like a thing that preys on something. I thought it was so clever for that. Anyways, yeah, that's what we were painting today. Is it my favorite? Not really. Do I like the colors that I used? Also not really. If I could do something else, I probably would have done like how night street lights are really impactful to like bats and other nocturnal animals. So they're switching out street lamp light bulbs for like red light bulbs because those don't like impact bats as much. So I think that would have made like a cooler painting to have like bats in like a red light. I don't know what I would have done necessarily, but I think that would have made a cooler painting than whatever the heck I did. But it's too late. I already gave that presentation and I already made this painting and I made that artist statement too, so it's too late. There's nothing to be done. I'll keep it on the back burner for a future project though. Anyways, yeah, not my favorite, but, it's done now. That's the best part about it. And it looks, decent. I think I'll get a decent grade on it. Once I get it graded, I'll leave a comment for you guys on what I got on it. I think it'll be, like, at least a B. It's good enough, I actually only had a week to paint this because apparently I'm really bad at managing my time. I had, of course, all semester to work on this, but I put it up until the last minute because I didn't really want to do it. Between being a full-time student and everything else that I have going on in my life, I only had, 5 days to work on this. I think given the time that I had, I think this is pretty good. Hopefully next time we can do something funner. I've still been alluding to that big project that I've been working. Yeah, I'm still working on that. Sorry about that. It's gonna take me a while. But I should have something funner for you next week. I'm actually committing myself to a posting schedule. I haven't really had a schedule in the past. It's just been posting whenever I like. But I'm trying to get you guys something new every single Sunday. So even if it's a short or a long form video, I'm trying to have something out for you guys every Sunday. But if all goes well, I will see you all next Sunday. If you enjoyed this painting more than I did, you should, I don't know, maybe give it a thumbs up. And if you like art, you could subscribe. Well, I'm not saying you have to, but you could. You have free will. Who am I to tell you what to do? And if all goes well, I will have something out for you all Sunday. Hugs and kisses. Love you. I'm gonna go now. Bye-bye.